Okay, so we're in our relaxation position. So if you're not already down, carefully bring yourself down onto the mat, lower your heels, bring your bottom towards your heels, come onto your forearms and carefully lay yourself down bone by bone onto the floor, and just take a moment to settle yourself down. So toes pointing down along the mat, evenly weighted, let the knees point to the ceiling and just allow your pelvis to be heavy. Find that nice crease at the front of the hips. Lift the ribs away from the hips, and again check there's space at the back of the neck. So if you're using a head cushion or towel, just try not to compress the neck, keep that space there, and lift the ribs away. So we're looking to have those 3 points of contact: the back of the head, thoracic spine, so where the ribs attach, and then that tailbone, that sacrum. So just take a second to settle in. You might want to do a couple of little compasses or a little rock side to side to find that nice neutral. But the thighs aren't heavy and gripping and the bottom isn't gripping. Just settle onto the mat, take some nice breaths into the side and the back of the rib cage. Breathing out, let the ribs soften, and just take a moment to lengthen onto the mat. So from here, interlace the hands, pop them behind the head. So you're using your thumbs to get to the top of the spine. Widen those shoulder blades on the back as you encourage, so you can see your elbows. Just out the corner of your eye, you can see your elbows. Upper back and shoulder blades are wide. And as you start to exhale, just a nice curl up through the center, breathing out. Pause here, take a breath in, maintain that nice rounded shape, and then exhale, lower back down. So let's just go a couple more times. So exhaling, slide the head away, look down the front of the body, breathing out, find the tip of the shoulder blades, keep that pelvis neutral. Breath in to maintain, and then lengthen and lower back down. So 2 more. And make sure the head is sort of hitching a ride. You're carrying the weight of your head. Elbows are guiding up and over to get that nice flexion through the neck and the upper back. So if that's good for you, you can carry on with the same movement there. Otherwise, we're going to take a double knee fold. So you're going to bring the legs up that double knee fold, connect them together. So edge of the feet, inner thighs, knees. Watch you not roll onto your lower back. So keep that nice sense of heavy in the tailbone, so it's neutral. And just check in where the ribs are. They haven't sort of lifted. Keep that busy. Keep the ribs busy. Legs together. So as you curl up this time, you've got to work hard now to maintain that position. So you're going to breathe in here and then exhale, lower back down. So again, take that curl up. Keep that tailbone heavy. Inhale, maintain it. And exhale, lower back down. So again, you can carry on exactly as you're doing now. Otherwise, I'll add on as you inhale, extend the legs away, glue the heels and the inner thighs together, bring the legs back in and uncurl down to the floor. So you're taking that intensity a little bit higher by extending the levers, those legs along. Breathe in, keep the curl up, allow them back in and lower down. If you find that's too much or it's pulling too much on your lower back, either take the legs a little higher or keep the legs at the 90. So 2 more. Let's go. Breathe out to curl up. Inhale, press and extend. Heels together, inner thighs together. Keep that curl up. Bring them back in. Lower down. 1 more. And then the legs are going to stay there as we come into an oblique crisscross. So we're going to extend the right leg, take a little crisscross, and then we switch. Open that right elbow, that left shoulder, open that shoulder. Breathe out, extend the leg. Your option is to lose the legs and just crisscross through the center, okay? So again, choose what works best for you. So as you're pressing the legs away, get that rib a little closer to the opposite hip. breathe out. So we'll do 6. Switch, 5, keep up through the center. 4, 3, 2, last one. Back to center, lower the head down. Keep the legs there for one more time. We've got some toe taps. So breathing out, tap down towards the floor, bring it back. Just place the hands on the ribs. So as you're breathing out, the ribs stay busy. You don't feel them flaring and popping off the floor. So breathe out and bring it back. Get that nice crease at the front of the hips. We're moving from the hip. That thigh bone moves away and then brings it back. Move it away and bring it back. Good. So keep that position. Three to go. Relax the neck and shoulders and just keep your 3 weighted points on the mat. And then bring the legs together. Allow the knees to come in, have a little rock. Side to side, and carefully lower the feet to the floor and slide them away. Fab. So come and roll onto your side. So you're going to use your mat as your sort of straight line. Take your whole body along the back edge of the mat. So your feet, your ankles are flexed, heels are on the back of the mat. Tailbone, back of the ribs. So again, check that you're not pushing those ribs forwards. Lengthen yourself from the top of the head right through to your heels. So a nice straight position. Both sides of the waist along, and this underneath arm is busy. It's not just totally passive, so keep some activity there. Now carefully just scoot your feet to the front edge of the mat. So you're on a slightly diagonal to help with balance. If it gets too wobbly, bend your bottom leg just to give you a little bit more support. So from here, your top leg's going to be your worker. Free hand wherever you need it to be. I just put it on my hip so I can feel where my pelvis is and I'm not wiggling. And encourage that top leg back in line with the edge of the mat. So really now, bit of opposition through the crown of my head and my heel. We're going to lift and lower. So we've got 10 of these. Keep that sense of length through the front of the leg. The toes aren't going to drift out in front of you. Keep the leg long. As if you were on a wall, your heel will be sliding up and down the wall behind you. So you've got 3, 2, 1. Now hover here, soften the toe, pull back a fraction more and up and around. So we're going to do 5 circles. So we've got 4. So again, check there's no wobbling through the centre. Keep those ribs connected. Keep that underneath arm busy to the floor. And then reverse, go the other way. So we're going up, back and down. Keep the leg long, breathe. 2, 3, well done. 4, and then 5. Pause there, hover again, flex the foot. Keeping that pelvis still, you're going to crease the hip. Take a little knee fold. So we started in knee fold in a standing position on the previous film. So this is our standing on one leg. So get a good crease at the front of the hip. Keep the height of the leg, don't let it waver. Keep pressing away. Now that tailbone stays long. We're not letting it round underneath us. So you might have to just play with your range to see how you can keep your neutral. So you might not be able to get it quite so far in. 2 more. Lengthen that leg back to the edge of the mat. 1 more. Pause on the out. And then lower it back down. Here we roll. So carefully change ends. So either roll over or come to the other side of the mat. So same setup. Use the back edge of your mat as your straight line. Connect your underneath arm to the floor. And then flexing the ankles, press as if you were kind of standing really. Both sides of the waist long and just soften the ribs. We're not pressing the ribs forwards. Underneath arm busy and just scoot your feet ever so slightly forwards. So your top leg's your worker. Float it up and hinge it back in line with the back edge of the mat. And then from there you've got your lift and your lower. Good. So free arm wherever you need it. And if it gets too wobbly, just bend that bottom leg. Give yourself a little bit more support if we need to. Don't fight it. So we're going to go for 6, 5, keep it long, don't let the toes drift in front of you, keep that nice sense of length at the front of the leg, 2 more, and then pause at the hip height and soften the toes. So now we go for circles, so pull back, up and around and down, good, 2, 3, 4, and then reverse the other way. So 5 circles round, 4, yeah, nice, 3, well done, 2, and 1, hover there, flex the ankle one more time. Bring your hand to your pelvis if you can, take that knee fold, press the leg long. So there's no shortening in the waist, just keep that top waist and bottom waist long. Reach through that heel, good. So we're halfway, 4 left in the tank. Draw it in, stick the tailbone out and lengthen that leg. And lengthen, 2 to go. Press 1 more. And then pause there with the leg long, lower down, give it a little rub, fab. So we're going to finish on our front. So if you come and lay onto your tummy, bring your body onto the mat, just tuck the ribs underneath you and lengthen the legs away. We're starting with a little bit of a dart prep. So if you let the heels fall to the side, toes together, check you can still feel the front of your pelvis on the mat, those bony processes, and then tuck your ribs underneath you. So legs are quite passive. Then you're going to take your arms down by your side and really let your shoulder blades round. Try and get the tips of your shoulders onto the floor. So your shoulder blades are going to widen on your back. Palms face the ceiling. Breathing in here. Take some nice wide breaths into the back and the side of the body. So next time as you exhale, draw your inner thighs together and heels together. Rotate the upper arm, lower arm, and then palms, thumbs down, reach along the side of the body and open the breastbone or shine the breastbone forwards. Breathe in and then exhale, reverse, roll back down, allow the shoulder blades to widen and bring the head to the floor. So you're breathing in to prepare. Exhale, think about that belly button drawing away from the floor. Gather up the waist, rotate the arms, palms in, thumbs down, breastbone forwards, and then reverse and bring the head down. So keep going there, keep that position. So think dart, think streamline, body's nice and long on the mat, connect the legs, connect the inner thighs, shine the breastbone forwards, and then release. About 4 more. If at any point it becomes uncomfortable or pinching in the lower back, reduce your range or try and keep your feet on the floor. Really use your legs as your anchor. So the breastbone you're trying to shine forwards. We don't need to lift really high. Think streamline like a dart. So go for a couple more. Draw the heels together, inner thighs together. Rotate the whole of the upper arm and the lower arm and the palms. Breastbone forwards. Breathe in and roll back through. Come down. 1 more time. Lengthen those arms along the side of the body. Don't let them come up too high. Keep them long down the side of the body. Reach the crown of the head away. And then release down. Bring your head into your hands. Heels into your bottom. And just swizzle the legs side to side. Just let the hips release. And then lengthen the legs down to the floor. Bring yourself up into 4 points. And just carefully take a little rest position. So allow the knees to be a little wider and bring the head down to the floor. Breathe into the back and just get a nice rounded shape. If it's more comfortable, put your head in your hands. Bring yourself back into your 4 points. Just hands under shoulders. Knees under hips, and carefully just bring your right hand in front of your left hand. So all you're going to do as you breathe in, hinge your bottom back, but really fan open the ribs on that right side. So breathing into the right side as you sink down, open that right half, and then exhale, come back up, and we'll switch over. So then left hand in front of the right hand, breathing in. So you're kind of on a diagonal as you go down, breathing into that left side, open the left side of the rib cage, fan open those ribs, big breath in, and then exhale, come up. So one more time each side. I'll just come at a wee bit of an angle. So you're going to bring the right hand in front of the left hand, and as you sit back down, inhale and get a little lateral stretch. Inhale, come up and switch. And then carefully walk your hands into a little kneeling position. We'll just take a little hip flexor stretch. So if you wiggle your right foot forwards, just do a little toe creep forwards. Keep the feet on train tracks. Keep them in that slightly parallel position and allow the front of that left hip to open. Watch that knee isn't further forward than the toe. So just get a nice long stride. Keep the body upright and open through the front of that hip. Find your balance. Watch the ribs. Breathing in there. If you can sink a little deeper, do. And then carefully change. So step back, bring the left forwards, little toe shuffle, and then allow the hips to open on the right side. Again, keep the body upright. And then very carefully, you can either come up from kneeling, or if you prefer to tuck the toes under and walk your hands back up, uncurl. Just take a minute to allow the head to come back to an upright position. So bring yourself back up to standing bone by bone, and then come to stand in that nice parallel tall position. So press the feet into the floor, connect that tripod to the ground. And all we're going to do is take a nice wide breath in, let the shoulder blades glide up the back. And as you exhale, roll down through the centre. Let the arms guide down, look down through the centre. And breathing out bone by bone. Release the head, release the arms, and allow the spine to flex. Breathe out. Inhale at the bottom, press your feet into the floor, extend the hips first, restack, bring the ribs on top of the pelvis, and then inhale. So just from the side, check the arms don't go too far behind you, lower them down to the floor, keeping that pelvis still for as long as you can, let the ribs slide up behind you, breathing out now, that nice rounded shape, and then allow the tailbone to slide up. And then let the arms come down by your side. Take a nice breath in. And you're all done. Thank you very much for joining me.